my name is Mackenzie, and today I'll be taking you through some plank intervals. So all of our movements today are going to be different variations of the plank. It's because that we will be on the ground today. If you would like a mat, or I have here a beach towel, just something to soften the ground for you. But we're going to be doing a lot of core and shoulder work today because it's going to be all plank variations. So we're going to go ahead and get started with a warm-up. We're going to do 3 rounds, just alternating between a 30-second plank and a 30-second Superman. So let's go ahead. For the plank position, we want our shoulders to be over our hands. The first option is to be on the hands here. We want the shoulders away from the ears, over the hands, body in one nice straight line. You can also come down, and in this case, if you're on the forearms, then your elbows will be right under the shoulders, and you always have the option to drop down to the knee, or if you wanted to, you can always go against the wall, just keeping the body straight and just getting closer and closer to parallel to the ground using a wall. And then Superman, we're gonna stay on our stomach, and we're just gonna be lifting up here. And during our warm-up, I might add in some variations for the Superman, so just listen to any instructions I give. But we're gonna go ahead and get started. So again, the warm-up is gonna be 3 rounds of a 30-second plank and a 30-second Superman. So let's go ahead and get started with that plank in 3, 2, 1. So we're coming up, staying in a nice straight line. We're squeezing the thighs, squeezing the glutes. We're just trying to be nice and controlled here. Again, option, you can always go down to the knees. At any point today, if you need to take a break, you can push back into downward dog. We have 10 more seconds here. Then we're gonna go into the Superman. And 3, 2, 1. Coming down. So for this first one, we'll just hold it here for the 30 seconds. Just holding here. So for the Superman, you can always bring the arms in, make it a little bit easier, but we're just trying to lift the upper body and our lower body as high off the ground. So our glutes are taking care of the lower body, then we have our back taking care of the upper body. But the further out you stretch, the more strain you're putting on your body. And back to that plank. And this time for this plank, we're gonna add in some shoulder taps. So you're gonna shift slightly to one side, bring the hand up, tap the shoulder, and the other side, just to kind of get those shoulders a little bit more warmed up. But we're still trying to keep our body as level as we can. You can still do this for the knees. One thing is you can always take the feet a little bit wider, make yourself a little bit steadier. Okay, let's transition to the Superman. This time, we're just gonna come up and down in nice, slow, and controlled movements, but we're never resting on the ground. We're just coming right above the ground, going right back up. Nice work. Over halfway with the Superman. Then we just have one more round left. And 3, 2, 1. Coming back up. And so this time we're gonna hold for 5 seconds, and then hold here 5 seconds into that downward dog, pushing the head through, coming back down for 5 seconds, and going back up, really trying to push the head through, coming back down for the last 5 seconds, and coming down for a Superman now. This time we're gonna do a swimmer. So opposite arm, opposite leg, going up and down. Again, you can always bring the arms in, but still trying to keep that movement going, keeping the legs going. Nice work. Again, 3, 2, 1. Okay, rest. So that was our warm-up. Hopefully, maybe your shoulders are feeling a little bit warm. Feel free, take them through any stretches. If you want, keep them moving. Hopefully the core is activated now. But for today, we're gonna have 2 rounds, and we're just gonna do different variations. So I'll take you through the variations very quickly, and then while we're in those variations, I'll add some more coaching points or maybe provide some modifications. But our first movement is just our plank. So that's what we did for the first part of the warm-up. Just shoulders over the hands or over the elbows if you're on your forearms, keeping the body in a nice straight line. And we'll just hold that for 30 seconds. And then Superman pulses, we did that. That's where we just went up and down in a nice, slow and controlled manner. This is gonna be a new one. It's gonna be a plank with hip dips. So I prefer to do these from the forearms, but it's up to you. But in the plank position, and you're gonna go down and just tap the hip on one side or the other. Modification, again, you can always go from your knees here, tapping the hip on one side or the other. And then we're gonna do our side planks, and we're gonna do each side for 15 seconds. So we wanna try to transition quickly. First modification is you can have the bottom knee down, then you can have one foot in front of the other, trying to get your body between two panes of glass. We don't want our hips back or forward. And then you can also always stack the feet. If you want to get challenging, you can always raise the top foot. But we'll do 15 seconds on one side, 15 seconds on the other. And then we'll take a quick rest. We'll take 30 seconds there. Then we'll go through our last little series, and then we'll start at the top again. So again, I'll call out all of these movements before we get there, but so we'll take that rest, start with a plank again, do those Superman swimmers, then we'll do a plank with knee drives for 2 rounds. So we'll do 1 round with the left knee. So what that's gonna look like is you're gonna bring up the left knee, we're gonna try to touch it to the elbow, touch it to the nose or as close as you can get, and then opposite elbow. So we'll stay on one side for 30 seconds, then we'll switch to the other leg. And if you need to go to your knees or push back into the downward dog at any point, feel free to. But we want to try to hold, we just want to keep our body under tension as long as we can. So maybe if you're not feeling those knee drives, maybe you're just holding a plank and we're just working on keeping our body under tension, having that stress and being able to deal with it in our shoulders and in our core, working on strengthening those areas. But seems like a lot, but it's okay. We're only doing 2 rounds. It's only going to be 30 seconds for each movement, so we'll be targeting slightly different muscles for each movement. So we should be able to get through this. But we'll take a rest at the end of that and then start at the top. And again, I'll call out all these movements. They're just going to be variations. I did forget one movement though for the first round. We're also going to be doing a reverse plank, so we're going to flip over onto our backs, hands under the shoulders, and we're going to raise the hips and hold here. So this is kind of working that back body a little bit more. But we'll go ahead and get started again. It's just 2 rounds. If you need to take a break, you can go to your knees, you can push back into downward dog, or if you need to, you can always shake out the shoulders a little bit because this will be very shoulder heavy today. But go ahead, grab some water, and let's get started at the top. So we have just starting out with a plank here. We're gonna go 30 seconds each movement. Let's get going in 3, 2, 1. Again, these ones you can go from the forearms or from the hands. It is up to you. But trying to keep those shoulders away from the ear, making sure that we're flexing all the way through our legs. Over halfway. And 3, 2, 1. Coming down for Superman pulses. So just kind of up and down. Nice, slow, and controlled. Nice work. And so because we don't have rest in between each movement, we want to try to make our transitions as quickly as possible. So after this, we'll be going back into the plank for those hip dips. We have 10 seconds left here. And 3, 2, 1. Coming back up. So I like to do these ones for the forearms, but you can always switch it up. Just tapping, nice, slow, and controlled. Just slightly tapping the hips. And we want to make sure that during these movements that we're never craning the neck up. We want to try to keep it neutral, just kind of staring, I think, like at your hands or maybe slightly in front of them, but we don't want to be looking up. Okay, and transition to a reverse plank. Holding here, and then after these we will have the side planks and we'll take a 30-second rest. Over halfway, see if you can get those hips up a little bit higher. And 5, 3, 2, 1. Side plank. Good. Shoulder over the elbow for these planks as well. Trying to keep your body in a nice line. 5 seconds left here. 3, 2, 1. Switch sides, quick transition. And rest. Okay, that was the first little section, taking a 30-second rest. Then we have our plank, Superman swimmers, and the knee drive section. So we have 20 more seconds here. Again, just starting with a plank, working on flexing through the whole body here. And 3, 2, 1. Making sure that you're breathing. If you want to add in the shoulder taps that we did during the warm-up, you're more than welcome to. Or you can just hold a plank. The key with the shoulder taps is we want to make it nice, slow, and controlled movements. And Superman swimmers. Again, making sure we're not craning our neck too much here. And 3, 2, 1. Coming back up to a plank for those knee drives. So pick one leg and you're gonna stick with that leg for the entire 30 seconds. Moving at your own speed, whether that's faster than me, slower than me, it's gonna be at your own pace. Again, you can always push back in a downward dog or drop to the knees if you need a break. But we're just trying to get this knee as close to the elbows and the nose as we can. And switch legs. So if you wanted to do this from the knee, you're more than welcome to. Just make sure you have a cushioning under that knee so you're still comfortable. And 5, 3, 2, 1. Nice work. Okay, now we're gonna start from the very top. Do all those movements one more time, and then we're done for today. Just a nice quick core and shoulder work today. We have about 15 seconds left. Shake out the shoulders if you need to, roll them out. 10 seconds. Okay, starting with the top at the top with a plank in 3, 2, 1. And remember, you're flexing all the way through the legs, through the glutes. And 3, 2, 1. bringing it down for Superman pulses. Again, trying to keep the neck as neutral as possible here. Over halfway. Then we have our plank with the hip dips next. And 3, 2, 1. Bring it back up for our plank. Again, going at your own speed here. Just making sure that we're staying nice and controlled. Keeping the shoulders away from the ears. Seconds, then reverse plank, and switch. After this, we have our side planks. For this one, make sure you're looking at the sky, you're not craning the neck, keeping it nice and neutral. Halfway. Make sure we're breathing through this, keeping the hips high. And switch, side planks. Five seconds left here. And switch, quick transitions. Nice work. We're getting a rest after this. Try to hold it for the last 10 seconds. And 3, 2, 1, rest. Okay, we just have 2 minutes left of work, and then we're done for the day. So, give the shoulders one last shake, maybe stretch them out a little bit. And starting again with that plank again, you always have the options to add in those shoulder taps. In 3, 2, 1. Over halfway with this one. Then we're going to those Superman swimmers. And in 3, 2, 1, lower down and swimmers. Keeping those shoulders away from the ears so we don't want them to come up. Keeping nice and down. Again, you can always bring the arms in if you need to. You can maybe not come up as high. Or you can do the opposite, bring the arms out further. Come up a little bit higher. We only have 5 seconds left here. Nice work, and back into that plank position. Again, you can always go from one knee, but we're just gonna do the knee drives now. Again, pushing back. 10 seconds here. And switch legs. Nice work. This is the last 30 seconds here. And 5, 3, 2, 1. Rest. Nice work today. Make sure you really focus on stretching out those shoulders, bringing them behind the back, and stretching out the core too. But thank you so much for joining me today. My name is Mackenzie. We just did some plank intervals, and I hope to see you again next week.